So yeah, cats. It was like I was saying the other day. So I got a plan, but it's a bit crazy. There might be a little bit of pain, but we might get some laughs out of it.
Yeah? What is this plan?
In defense of Challenge Edition. And in this version, we have to watch something that can be indefensible.
That everyone hates. We have to talk about it.
Positively.
We're not allowed to sarcastically defend it. It's got to be...
Oh, there may be a bit of sarcasm in the odd eruption, but genuinely you have to say good things about it, which will be challenging with the film that I've got in mind.
Okay.
Cats.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, because I fucking hate musicals.
Yeah, I don't like musicals, and from what I've heard and seen of Cats so far, it's not good.
I've seen a lot of musicals recently in the past few years. A couple in there were not bad, except for The Greatest Showman, that has a little person in it, and I spent the whole movie looking at the little person going, his mouth CG because something doesn't look right, and it turns out it was his legs because he wasn't little enough. So we're going to take on one of the worst musicals about.
Okay, well, at least it's something different.
With that in mind, over the last couple of days in 2 chunks, I watched Cats.
I sat through it as well. I started to watch it actually a little while ago, just out of interest, before we decided to do this challenge edition. And I got about 18 minutes in, I think, or so, and then I fell asleep and then I didn't watch it. And then I finally managed to watch it for this in two sessions.
Let's defend that.
Well, see, there's 2 sides of it. There's the musical itself. I'm not a musical fan. I don't particularly find the music in this good. And then there's the technical side of it, which also has a lot of issues. So if you were a fan of the musical, really loved it, and didn't really care so much about the filmmaking technical side of it, you know, the unfinished effects and things like that, if you didn't pick up on that, then I could see how you would actually go along with it and like it. But for anyone who's actually a film buff, someone who knows about actual filmmaking, there's a lot of problems. This isn't much of a defense.
No. It was framed well. Sometimes.
That was the only thing I could pick up on, because usually at least there's something. It was colourful. It had colour.
For a period of time, it gainfully employed a group of creative people. Some of them were better at their jobs than others.
Well, it sounds like they were under pressure, though, and it probably wasn't fun to work on in the visual effects side of
either
things.
that or it was fun because there was a lot of drugs. The workers, they did a fine job and they got paid. Then everyone made money except Universal.
Universal.
Every film has its fans. And I have no doubt this one does too.
It would be good if you were into that scene of furries.
Oh, this is the thing. I have to go there. Congratulations to whatever executive at Universal set out to make a $100 million furry porno film.
Which is G-rated here.
Watching Cats gave me weird and conflicting feelings.
It was a little unnerving.
It was wrong. But every now and then I'd go, huh? But somewhere out there, a whole lot of yiffing is going on with this film. Don't you worry about that one.
If anything, I think they should have just gone full CG on the cats. Just not keep the actor's face. Give them an actual cartoonish cat face. Would have solved probably a lot of problems. We're light on the defence at the moment.
I would say,
positive.
that defence is going. At least I'm trying. I know. How about the howling screeching of 2 cats fucking is no longer the worst audio cue that my mind goes to when I hear the word cats.
The singing was pretty bad. It was all a bit off key. It didn't sound very strong. It was pretty terrible. Well, okay, so you've got the combo of Rebel Wilson and James Corden.
Yep. Yeah.
Is there? Look, it had Idris Elba in it. He's an awesome actor.
And at one
He's a
point,
positive.
when his character, who can magically into thin air, he made it in like, meow, as he did it. And I actually kind of went, that's cool. Meow.
I need Gary Busey, pet judge.
I tell you
to
what,
say
this would have been better with a bit of Gary Busey in it.
That would have added something.
And Judi Dench was in it. She's always good value. She reminds me of my Nana. But at the same time, did anyone pick up at the end of this film that the old white cat and the young white cat decide that the homeless black cat can be the one to get the fuck out of here?
And the balloon.
And then they take her, looking all shell-shocked and hopeless, and put her in a balloon and just send her away. And it's like, bye-bye now. What the fuck is going on there?
It's this weird religious cult, really.
What the fuck is Jellicle?
There was a lot of questions.
Why are some of the cats wearing pants?
Let's get back on track. Back on track.
How the fuck does Mr. Mistopheles keep putting his hat on and then his ears pop out through his hat? And then he takes the hat down and he pulls things out of the hat, but there's no holes in the side of the hat. And then he puts his hat back on and his ears pop through.
It's a magical cat. Defense, defense, defense.
Defense.
Think the defense.
One thing I did notice about this, and I was going to say it's a plus, this movie for years will be taught on how to do effects layering, because every shot has different effects of polish on it, because most of them have been abandoned.
So you did have the shots where, sometimes you'd have
some
it'd be blended, and then the next time it would be nothing with just the sleeve.
And then some would have all the like diffusion and all the cool stuff going on it, and then the next one would be just badly keyed. You can't even say they rendered it correctly.
Because a lot of the things sort of floated, like
the faces floated.
So Rebel Wilson, when she takes off her outer fur, she has other clothing underneath. That kind of floated on top. It wasn't grounded properly on the character.
The fact that she can somehow take her skin off and underneath there are clothes.
With more fur and skin.
With more fur. Isn't as scary as the fact that Judi Dench is walking around like Buffalo fucking Bill wearing a fur coat like this.
Yeah, so was that the last?
Well, that's it. Was she the last one? She shuffled off?
Okay, so hang on. We've got to get back to defending it.
Get back to defending it. Okay. There was one moment where I connected emotionally with the film. Just one. Right at the end, when they're dragging in old Jennifer Hudson, whose cat, for some reason, is wearing like a cocktail dress underneath a fur coat, and she belts out. And then has a moment where she's just overcome with grief and breaks down. And at that point, I was overcome with grief and nearly breaking down too, because this motherfucking thing wasn't ending.
There was one moment, I don't know if that's the bit, but there was one moment where...
Yeah, it went, Bob!
I'd reach for the remote going, oh, Jesus. Yeah, there was a few unpleasant moments like that. But let's get back.
Yeah, I would say.
Defense is breaking down.
And they're breaking down. Good thing this thing's not on death row.
So have we got any defense here, or is this just completely...
This hasn't been a good defense.
So we've failed at our first challenge.
It's awful, but it's not offensively awful. I mean, it's not one of those films that you sit there and actively hate while viewing.
Every time they got into another song, I think I did. We can't do it, can we?
I don't know if I can defend anything about this movie. I know I've sat down to put myself through this, and it's my own fault because I'm the one who came up with this.
I was curious to see it.
Towards the end of the film, one of the cats gives them advice, and it's all the memories of the pain, let them go. And it's good advice because I think you don't want to remember sitting through cats for too long. Just let it go, just bye-bye.
Once again, I enjoyed Sonic more than this.
There's a lot of things I enjoyed more than this.
Because if you do like musicals, and even this one you don't particularly like, it could be your so bad it's good film. We'll watch, shonky martial arts films or something like that are fun because they're so silly. But people who are into musicals, maybe this is their so bad it's good. I didn't see it as so bad it's good. It was just genuinely bad.
Well, there's another thing. It is well balanced.
It's not so bad that it's good.
It's balanced that it weighs up being awful yet boring at the same time.
Yeah, I think the takeaway from this is that we can't defend it.
Challenge failed. I put myself through 2 hours of that shit for fucking nothing. There's nothing redeemable about it. The defense rests. Fry the bastard. There's an ending. Thanks for watching this episode of Below the Title. If you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click that little notification so you know when we deliver more of this gold.